Yeah. Come up. There it is. Hey, everybody, welcome. I am Michael Vincent, and he is Joey D. You may know him as Joey DiNardi-Mack, but it's Joey D. If you know anything about Jersey and Rutgers, it's Joey D. We know Joey D. He is co-founder and CEO at Sourgum. What are you doing, man?
Thanks, Michael. I appreciate you having me on.
Of course.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. Where are you at? I'm looking at the skyline and all this kind of stuff behind you, or is this like one of those fake AI backgrounds? What's going on?
No, it's real. We're based out of Jersey City, New Jersey. So, not too bad views on this side of the river.
Yeah, you got some decent views, don't you? Right?
Oh, yeah. Manhattan skyline looks real nice.
Your job is for the views. Is that?
Oh, yeah.
Tell us, what are you doing at Sourgum? What's going on?
Sure. So, Sourgum is a managed marketplace for the waste and recycling industry. Essentially, we have a network of over 5,000 partnered haulers who all run on our technology and software, who provide better service at a lower cost to clients ranging from homeowners to large enterprises. And we're infusing our zero waste mission across the entire spectrum, helping reduce landfill rates, increase recycling rates.
Oh, okay. So that's a lot to dig into and understand a little bit more fully. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So, I mean, why Sourgum? Why is it called Sourgum?
So Sourgum is actually a type of tree that's native to New Jersey. It's another name for a black tulipo. And, for every dumpster we put out, we have a tree planted in a forest in need. So, in California and Canada that were ravaged by wildfires, we work with charitable partners to have trees planted to help with recovery.
With every load that you book?
Yep.
Is that what it is? Okay. All right. Got it. That's fantastic. So how did you get involved with Sourgum? Why there? I mean, you're a Rutgers guy, you're a Jersey boy. What went down? Well, how did this happen?
So I'm actually a fourth generation from the waste and recycling industry.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And my cousin's actually my co-founder. So, we're both brought up in the industry, worked every position from the back of garbage trucks to office administrative duties. Great-grandfather came over from Italy in 1897, started with the horse and buggy, and since then our family's been in the space ever since. So we've really had a front row seat to the entire industry. So a lot of, good, bad, and ugly within it. Too much bad, too much ugly for our taste. So, we decided to start Sourgum with the mission of doing for waste what Amazon did for retail, kind of transform the experience for businesses through technology, transparency, and automation, all with the vision of achieving zero waste within the industry as well.
Those are pretty lofty goals, my friend.
So definitely just at the beginning of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because I wouldn't think that it would. I'm 36 years in logistics. I've been in logistics for 36 years, and now I'm getting into recycling and stuff like that because it is a logistics thing, right? And it would appear you're going the opposite way. You were in waste management recycling, and now you're trying to get into, or not trying to. You're now expanding into what people would traditionally look at as logistics, technology, et cetera, for moving, loads of goods and things going to market and raw materials, et cetera, and not necessarily waste, right? You take it to the curb, a dump truck comes and gets it, or a garbage truck comes and gets it, goes to landfill, bada bing, bada boom. You don't got to worry about it, right? But you're advancing that way beyond. I get what you're doing, and it's awesome. What was, the inspiration? Just, hey, we need to do something better for the planet, or something for the planet, but this also separates us and helps me grow the empire that my great-grandfather tried to start back in 1897. And it's a serious question, right? Because both in my mind are acceptable and great answers. I mean, responsible capitalism is the answer to our issues, my opinion.
Yeah, so actually, we do operate under the belief that sustainability and profitability have to go hand in hand for kind of long-term success. But what actually got me in was I took a bit of a break from the industry after college and worked at a prop tech startup, learned full stack development there, and actually kind of realized just how outdated and unmodernized the waste and recycling industry was.
Right.
And that if we ever wanted to really move the needle and get away from trash always going to a landfill and actually increase recycling and diversion rates, it's got to be done in a technology first way to actually have the data to be able to do so. Because the unfortunate truth is there's just a lack of infrastructure throughout America to actually bring these materials to a centralized location for sorting and separating, if we're going to stay with the single stream system, in order to kind of, help promote that and get proper facilities created in the proper places, we knew we had to infuse data across the entire, reverse supply chain about what's actually getting picked up, what facilities have to get built of what size to give private and public entities the confidence that they can go out and build these processing plants in such a way that it's actually going to be, sustainable, long-term, profitable business.
And that makes a lot of sense because in my studies of looking at gathering the data from state and local sources, right, and actually speaking to the sources themselves, the people who are actually, and a lot of them are actually writing them into spreadsheets. They're not even clicking them; they're actually using a pencil or a pen, which is crazy to me. The data is suspect at best. And when you get down to super accurate, it's pretty anemic and pathetic what we're doing anyways. And because of all the things that you've discussed, when I look at, Sourgum and the website and your back banner on LinkedIn and stuff like that, it's quite obvious that you're doing a tech stack behind this, which is the way to get this done. Trucks moving at landfills, bulldozers, all that kind of stuff, dumpsters, all that kind of thing is fantastic. You got to have it, but you got to know where the stuff is and what you're moving, right? And that's your point. How are you capturing that stuff? Is that the secret sauce? Well, of course it's a secret sauce, but so what is the data that you're collecting? Are you getting down to what is in those dumpsters and that type of stuff, or just understanding participation rates, or what is it that you're bringing through that tech stack?
Yeah, so we collect various information along the way, and it does, vary based on hauler buy-in on who buys into which parts of the tech stack. Mm-hmm. But the most advanced we have is we equip our partnered haulers with AI-enabled cameras that actually go on the collection vehicles, so that we can continuously monitor the streams that are getting picked up. Flag frequent offenders of contamination.
You owe us an extra $20, my friend. That was a can of paint that went through there. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, and then we'll keep using that data to make suggestions to improve on the customer level. Source separation, because at the end of the day, that is kind of the best way to keep these streams clean, contaminated, easier for MRFs and everything downstream, as well as essentially once we have a large enough data set here, again, start working with more public entities to kind of influence the creation of proper recycling and alternative facilities in any given geography.
So you're capturing how much is not, okay. So if I'm understanding this correctly, when you're looking at like one of your dumpsters, right? Or are you guys running like actual dump trucks, like picking up, or garbage trucks, like picking up from locations and curbside and that type of thing?
So it's not our assets, it's our partners. But
your partners are. Yeah. So you're partnering with all that type of stuff. Even the dumpsters are not your assets. Those are other partners that are. I got you. Okay. Yeah, so right. You're almost like a load board or a capacity source, right? For people. And then your capacity is using some sort of your tech stack to enable the data collection, right? In some various level, form, or whatever it happens to be. Is that right? I got it. So are they all enabled with your tech stack, or just, it's heavily suggested?
So, we do have minimum requirements for haulers to use in terms of which aspects of the tech stack.
Gotcha.
And then, as we continue to grow, we're rolling out additional programs where we're not even asking them to purchase, the cameras or anything. We're giving them to them for free to kind of equip, helping with install, getting them set up, all in the name of helping with this data collection.
Yeah. Because it behooves you to get that data. So you're going to, I get you. It's not, well, I guess it would help them, but this helps municipalities. This helps all kinds of people understand what is and what is not being recycled, right? Mm-hmm. And what is and what is not hitting the landfills, right? That's what we're looking at. So because you're hitting both streams. You're not just like, well, all the bins that are out there curbside are half full. I mean, that's kind of the data you get right now. You don't even get it it's not even that accurate, right? because there are those that make money off of them being fuller. So it's it's like when I played football, I'm 6'2", but when I played football, I was 6'3.5". You know what I mean? Right. So gathering that data in reality is very, very important for people to understand, but they usually don't look at what's going into the landfill. Because that's not been a focus before, right? It's just, okay, we're trying to recycle plastic bottles. So how many were sold in this community? And that's kind of that's the usage, right? That model. And then how much was recycled? Regardless what they came from. Everything recycled could have been from the tourists. You don't know, right? Dump it off out of their cars. But they assume that it's the same ones that were same source as the ones that were bottled. But nobody was looking at what was going into the landfill, right? And is that a huge part of what you're doing, is to understand what people are actually throwing away? Or are you guys more just supplying that data to those who care more about that understanding and will do something about it? Kind of what your data use, what are you going for with that data?
Yeah, so with that data, we're looking to take action ourselves, especially on the customer level, helping them save money by properly sorting, taking that material out of the stream, and putting it in, say, like food waste. Even it may not go to a MRF, but there may be a composting facility nearby. We can kind of separate out and help with.
Well, and that's a great point, because the food waste is actually the worst thing that you can do, throwing it into a landfill. I mean, that's our biggest volume and gas problem. As far as greenhouse gases, right? It's food. It's not plastic. It's not wood.
Correct. And then even on the other side, on the recycling side, we're also helping flag what would it be normally considered a contaminant, but it might be a number 6 plastic going in that technically can get recycled. But if there's a large amount of that stream and the MRF doesn't have a kind of outlet to really sell that, it's flagging with municipalities to kind of get that stream handled in a more bulk manner where it can be shipped to a proper facility rather than going to, say, a single stream MRF, getting baled, getting landfilled just because there's no end market and they don't have the sorting equipment for it.
Yeah. Okay. So I got a million questions on just that, but the first one is, nobody says like a number 6. I mean, nobody does that, Joey D. Joey D. Why number 6? Why'd you pick number 6? Nobody says a number 6. They go like a number 1 or a 2. They don't go, hey, like number 6. Well, is there a reason you said number 6?
Yeah, so actually our family used to, operate a MRF ourselves in New Brunswick, New Jersey.
Okay.
And, so I'm kind of intimately familiar with the different streams. Number 1, like PET.
Yeah.
Number 2 and, number 5 all have great end markets.
Yeah, your PPs, your HDs, right, and your PETs. Those are the 3. That's what I'm saying. Somebody is going to pick that, not a 6.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was trying to flag one that, we know isn't getting recycled, even though it's going in the blue bin.
Yeah, no, it isn't. No, it definitely isn't. Yeah. But it does beg the question of how important it is to understand what are in those bins that are actually good for recycling, right? Because that's where a lot of the issue is for cost, is in the sortation equipment and the contamination levels, et cetera. Because the cleaner you can keep those streams, the individual streams, not those single stream that we do here, which is ridiculous to me. We got to figure out a way to fix that. And I guess you would agree. I mean, you've seen a MRF, you've run a MRF. You understand it's really not all that efficient or economical or, very accurate to have a bunch of people picking out bottles and stuff like that. It's just, it's not a great way to do things. But understanding and being able to give that feedback, or just the knowledge that, hey, this bin here is rock solid. This is all PET. It's fantastic, right? Or this one has slightly levels. That type of information would be pretty darn important to the next step, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely is, because it can also help direct kind of where these loads go, kind of where they go on the tipping floor, and even help the MRF itself know if they're getting, an influx of a certain material, kind of how to handle their operations on the ground when it comes in.
That's a fantastic point, because people are interested in this garbage or the refuse or the post-consumer raw materials. Let's get really, politically correct and advanced in our thinking. Is inventory in motion for somebody, right?
Yeah, and then even on the other end of the spectrum, kind of, with this information coming in, we can also work with manufacturers with that data to kind of see what's really clogging up the streams and kind of help influence them on either ERP programs or ideally changing their manufacturing process to have packaged goods that are actually getting processed better at these plants that they're ending up in.
Yeah, absolutely. And this happens there. In my mind, I'm looking at it through, and you said number 6, so we're thinking plastics, but that plastics is just part of the recycling. You're looking for UBC, you're looking for wood, you're looking for paper products, et cetera, which is the paper products and stuff like that. When you ran a MRF, were you guys into the paper product type of stuff? Because the cardboard and stuff is predominantly the ones who are running the MRFs, right? It's like the West Rocks and stuff like that, right? That are looking for that cardboard and paper fiber.
Yeah, so we were, completely separating out all fibers. They were going over kind of like star screens, separating that out, cleaning the streams. We did everything from clean newspaper to mixed paper to, clean OCC cardboard.
Right. You ran through all of that stuff. Did you get into the plastics thing? Were you still into plastics when you guys were there? Did you start doing that plastics, or you don't run the MRF anymore?
So we sold the MRF in February, but
So it's been fairly recently.
Yeah, our family is nice, retired out of the industry. It's just myself and my cousin who remain in it.
Yeah, I may have golfed with a couple of your family members at the.
might have.
The Medford Country Club. I think I may have ran into a couple of them. There was
I don't doubt it.
I bet I did. I interestingly showed up at the Medford Country Club to visit to meet my cousin. We were going to play a round of golf, and as I got there, I got a message he wasn't going to be able to make it, and it wasn't. I mean, it was actually a retired Italian Americans club, a golf outing, right? Of New York. And I went up there and I'm sitting there and this guy comes up and he goes, "What's your name?" And I said, Michael Vincent. And he goes, "I got a partner for you." He thought, because Michael William Joseph Vincent, he's got to be a Goomba. Let's bring him in here, right? So I played. Yeah, it's funny. It was awesome. So I played. I never let him know I was Slovak, not Italian, but.
That's all right.
That's all right. No problem. It's fantastic. But so, do you get into that in gathering that data from the MRFs, or the MRFs are you monetizing this data out to somebody else, right? Or is that the play? Because this can be incredibly valuable to a lot of people, right? And you guys are usually internally for your own operations, which is massively important. And people, I think, are understanding that in business. It doesn't matter what business you're in. Your tech stack is really important, right? To understand that.
So we're not monetizing it out currently. We're using it internally to kind of influence and dictate where loads go to reduce that disposal rate to kind of save the customer money, save the hauler money, increase.
So dig into that a little bit to decide where. So you will direct where a load is going depending on what the mix is inside of it.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Like so real time. So real. I mean, that's not implying. That's you're stating real time.
Oh, yeah, because as it's dumping in, the load will be able to be analyzed by the AI camera essentially on the hopper. And at that point, it processes fairly quickly, and we know the makeup of the load in that truck. And then that might dictate bringing it to MRF A, MRF B. It really depends what infrastructure exists in that area and where we can get a better, essentially, tip rate for that load.
Oh, no kidding. Right. So, but a lot of places don't have all those different options, do they? Or do they? I mean, I think I saw you guys just open up in Louisville. Is that right?
Uh-huh. That's correct.
So Louisville's not a huge city. I mean, if you go back, at one point it was the largest in the West when Kentucky was the West. It was a long time ago, is my point. But they have multiple areas to dump a load based on where or what type of materials in it. I would never guess that you would have those different options.
So not everybody has those options.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Where they exist is where we use it.
Yeah.
If we're kind of handcuffed based on the infrastructure and the only place it goes to landfill, I mean, there's not really much we can do at that point, and it's just a data collection play until we have enough to kind of either monetize it out or more ideally work with
Gotcha.
public and
Well, I
private
mean,
entities.
you can advise the public works and so on, waste management or solid waste management works of that particular what is going on, so they can look at their different programs to help solve those
Exactly.
issues. Right.
Correct. Yeah.
One of the biggest issues that is in recycling and doing this is participation of the individuals, right?
Yeah.
And you're kind of catching them red-handed, so to speak. I mean, I know you're not trying to handcuff or fine anybody or anything like that, and that's not the intent. The intent is that you're spying on them, which is also a nefarious type of thing for me to say. That's not what you're doing. You're watching what they're doing to give them that feedback, right? Because I mean, that's what I'm getting at is this 83%, according to the Recycling Partnership, 83% of people say that recycling everything is worth it, right? 87% will say they've never been told to recycle and they don't know how to, they've never been instructed.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of
Your
it is,
data changes that.
yeah. Yeah. So a lot of it is, it's not like we're trying to go out and find people from the start. They honestly may not know. They may have moved from a different town where certain things were recyclable there that aren't in the new location they're at.
Yeah.
A big issue is it's not standardized across the country because the actual MRFs taking it in aren't standardized. Not all of them are running the same equipment, can't handle the same streams. So part of that is also just educating the consumers better so they have a better understanding on how to properly do it. And then at that point, if they just continue to be a frequent offender, that's when we'll turn to using more of a penalty system.
Oh, really? But you have to work with your provider and the local government for that type of stuff, right? Because there's not necessarily, like you said, nothing static across or homogenous, I should say, across the U.S. as far as those laws and so on are going on.
Correct. Yeah. So we do have to be very mindful about what infrastructure actually exists in all the areas we operate.
Yeah, yeah. How guarded is garbage data? I struck a data deal with an airline on their belly cargo, and it was massive amounts of legal work because of Homeland Security, et cetera. And you could possibly have access to manifest of passengers, which isn't true. We didn't have any of that type of stuff. But there was just, man, it was like, oh, you're doing what? Oh my God. Every agency on the planet had to be involved to get involved. Is it, do you see, like, was Louisville like, yeah, but you can only have so much of our garbage data or,
No. So we keep it all internally on our servers. Again, we don't export it out, but it does actually bring up a good point about privacy protection because a lot of people, when they go and throw something out, they may just assume it's going in the trash. It's fine.
Well, they don't want AI valuing their bills and seeing what their credit cards say. Yeah,
exactly. So the way we kind of operate is to make sure kind of the data we get back isn't screenshots about what's actually going in. It's an analysis report of kind of the material there.
So it's going to say X number of amount of PET and it's green or it's white or it's HD or it's that type of stuff. Is it getting that level? Because with the photo, because I mean you've been in a sortation obviously at the MRF, right? And you can't just have a camera 10 feet away tell you that something's a green PET bottle and that one's a yellow HD. It's got to be like close to contact, right?
So
or no,
it's all image based, and it's just training the model essentially, which is kind of our secret sauce.
Yeah.
As more objects come into the camera on the system that are uncategorized, untagged, we just keep training the model, updating it, telling you what it should be. Because if we see it as a human, we can obviously dig in, do a bit of research.
Sure.
Categorize it properly, and there's more and more kind of like open data sets as well that are kind of helping with this training of these models. So that's how we're doing it on an AI vision. It's definitely not to the same scale as like an optical sorter at a MRF going through the conveyor belt. But as these data sets get built out, they can process and do just a well enough job as kind of the optical sorting. And then it's really just the first step, the first layer. It's what's going in. It doesn't have to be 100% because it's not sorting at that point. And then as these models get built out, we can work more with the MRFs and kind of incorporate it in with that optical sorting as well. So now those optical systems, the near infrared, are using both wavelength to get back what it is, as well as then processing it with kind of the AI as well.
Yeah, because those are full on spectrum analyzers. You're not going. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about it's an image 99% sure that's a bottle cap and it's HD or whatever it happens to be, right?
Correct, because we don't have to fire off air jets in real time. It's good enough for our current purpose. And then,
Yeah. Right. That's a good point. You're not sorting immediately right there, so it doesn't have to be. So right now it's good enough, and then you train it. Well, that really wasn't. It should be this or whatever it happens to be. That's cool. So where you guys at? You're in Jersey and Louisville, or I mean, is that the grand plan? Tackle Jersey and then tackle Louisville, or where you guys? And if it is, why?
so we're on the entire Eastern Seaboard currently, and
Oh
moving
wow.
west, and we'll be fully nationwide by the end of Q2 in 2026.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You've got all those plants, so you've been in touch with everybody and everything. That is really cool. I think this is fantastic where you guys are going. Are there any future plans or anything like that for utilization of this data? Have you had people reaching out to you and going, "Hey, we'd like to collaborate with you on this data"? Because knowing what's in the waste is massive. This is the new mines,
So the way
right?
we kind of see the vision here is continuously integrating ourselves into that reverse supply chain, not only just on the collection side, disposal, working with different entities to create new infrastructure, but also going towards like working with mills and other processors to help say, hey, the material you're getting from this plant at this time is going to be this clean. Kind of feeding that data just across the the spectrum there, and kind of at that point of collection and disposal facility, start being able to share that data more broadly to other folks like yourself who would be
Yeah,
procuring it.
yeah. Who are looking for those? I mean, they're basically it's raw material, man. These are resources for new products, etc. Right?
Exactly,
Um,
and because not so much on the plastic side, but especially on the paper side, different seasonal events can obviously affect the quality of the paper coming out in different regions, and kind of being able to share to that. So mills know where they should be procuring at any given time or at what
oh,
price.
that's a fantastic. Yeah. So your image can give information about quality of certain materials when they're coming out. That is that's tremendous. I absolutely love it, man. Do are you looking for people to reach out to you and find out what you're doing, or are you guys just kind of hunkered down making stuff happen? I mean, where do people reach out, and who should reach out to see you, to talk to you?
Yeah. So anyone kind of within the logistics world as it relates to waste recycling, even if they're not currently in it, especially with recycling, anybody can really join. It's not as heavily licensed. Can always reach out at hello@sourgum.com.
Fantastic, and it is. Yeah, this is great. I imagine this application could be altered to help with all kinds of different issues within logistics and hauling. But you guys are specifically in the waste and recycling to understand what's going on, which is absolutely fantastic. Hey, thanks for coming on, brother. This is really, really interesting stuff. I'm glad we got to meet and go into this. I really love this. I appreciate it very much.
Happy to be on, Michael. Really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me.
You got it, brother. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching Sustainiacs and downloading. And till next time, hey, peace and love, people. And hey, you know what? Do something with your number sixes, right? Make them happy.